Maddsters, welcome to Marketing 302 Marketing Management. This is the non-Ross version of Marketing 300. So it's like the same course, just this is for specifically non-Ross students, which is what I am. I took this class because I was like kind of interested in marketing and I just figured it's like good kind of background to have. I don't know, I just thought it'd be helpful. I kind of regret taking this class, not gonna lie. I think it was unnecessarily difficult and I probably should have dropped it, but then I forgot to drop it. So then I just ended up taking it pass fail, which was also fine, but it was like, I don't know. I just didn't enjoy it that much. I feel like my biggest issue was the density of the lectures, and they were very interesting. So how it's set up, it's 3 credits, it's 2 hour-and-a-half lectures a week. Pretty simple, but it's just like the PowerPoints are literally 80 slides and you're expected to know pretty much everything that goes in there and then apply that knowledge to 2 separate exams. So I was just like not a fan of how that was set up. I think the concepts were interesting. I definitely learned a lot about like kind of how the world works, and then you can recognize it in your everyday life too, which I thought was super cool. And so like it was nice to be able to apply that knowledge to the actual world. But I just like wasn't a fan of how the course is set up. There are 2 exams, so 1 midterm, 1 final. They were like unnecessarily difficult. And maybe that's just me coming from like psych where the exams are like very straightforward and pretty easy. Like the average was like 75%. And so then there's like a massive curve. And of course also on the Ross curve where it's like only 40% can get A's and like everyone else gets a B. Marketing's pretty simple, at least what we were taught. And the concepts are simple. Why is the average on this exam a 75? Like I just didn't enjoy that aspect of it. I guess this is how it was set up. And then also what factors into your grade is class attendance and participation. So every day you have to like sign in and say that you were there. I don't know how she graded participation because she like wasn't allowed to tell us, but I just made sure to like raise my hand and like answer questions. I hope I did well on that part. And then the other final big impactor on your grade is a group project where you just look at a company and like understand their marketing strategy and then do a presentation. I thought that was pretty straightforward. It was a very simple project. I also really enjoyed my group members. The groups were randomized. I like had a fine time with that. But overall, I just think this class was unnecessarily hard for the kind of beginner intro level information that they presented. And there were also like readings, which like no one really checked if you did, but then they did show up on the exam. So I would recommend you do the readings. No textbook though. And I feel like I wish you would have just made it easier. Like I ended up doing fine at the class and like passing it because I just switched it to pass fail. Yeah, I just wish there was a way that you could take this class as like an easy A instead of like risk your grade and like not do well, I guess. It is mandatory for the business minors, and then also there's this thing called the Capo sales track, which you can do if you're interested in like marketing and sales. So that's like kind of mandatory for that. I think the concepts are interesting, kind of similar, like some ideas from psych too. So there's a nice crossover there. I just wish like kind of the grading system was a little bit different. But I think that's just like how Ross classes are. And that was my first Ross class I've ever taken. So maybe it's just like me not understanding how this works. I would rate this class as a B just because lectures were actually like very boring and I was very tired when I would go to them, and it was just like unnecessarily hard. But probably one of the easier Ross classes, to be honest. But it was okay, I did fine. Let me know if you guys have any other questions. I hope this was helpful. As always, feel free to say hi, and thank you guys so much for watching. Bye, Maddsters!